Customers often feel safer working with well-established names. They know these companies will be around in 5 years. A startup, well, that's a little bit of a gamble for them. But here's the good news. While these challenges are real, they are not insurmountable. So how can startups navigate this? Let's get into the strategies because there are ways to navigate this landscape successfully. The first thing is to specialize, don't generalize. Big tech is great at building general purpose tools, but their strength is also their weakness. They can't easily cater to niche markets or highly specific use cases. As a startup, this is your playground. Instead of trying to compete at a broad level, narrow your focus. Solve a very specific problem for a very specific audience. For example, instead of building a generic AI content generator, build one that's specifically optimized for, say, legal documents or real estate listings. When you become the go-to solution for a niche problem, you're much harder to replace. Then there is the building around the ecosystem, not against it. And that's a critical mindset shift. You don't need to compete with big tech. You can collaborate with them. Take OpenAI or Google, for instance. Instead of building a standalone product, consider building tools, plugins, or applications on top of their platforms. Use their APIs, integrate with their ecosystems, and leverage their infrastructure. Think of it like this. If Microsoft is building the highway, you don't need to build another highway. Build a faster, efficient car that runs on their highway. This approach not only reduces your development costs, but also aligns you with the very companies that could otherwise threaten you. Now let's talk about the emphasis of speed and agility. And here is where startups truly shine. It's the speed. Big companies move fast, but they're also bureaucratic. They can't pivot as quickly as a smaller company can. Use that to your advantage. When a new technology or trend emerges, act on it quickly. Launch fast, test with users, and iterate. You can get a product to market much faster than a large corporation, and if you are paying attention to customer feedback, you can fine-tune it in ways they can't. The other thing I want to talk about is to focus on customer relationships. One of the biggest weaknesses of big tech is that they are impersonal. They deal with millions or sometimes billions of users. As a startup, you have the ability to form genuine, meaningful relationships with your customers. This means you can provide personalized support, gather in-depth feedback, and create a sense of loyalty that big companies struggle to replicate. Think about it. If a customer feels like you understand their business better than Google or Microsoft ever could, they'll stick with you, even if your product isn't as feature-rich. The next thing is to monetize differently, and this is a big one. Don't rely on the same monetization models as big tech. They can afford to offer freemium plans because they're monetizing elsewhere. For example, ads, data, enterprise contracts, you name it. Instead, think about unique revenue streams. Maybe it's a subscription model with highly personalized add-ons. Maybe it's a pay-per-use model for very specific features. The key is to experiment and find what works for your audience. Now, I want to end this with a mindset shift because I think this is where the real transformation happens. As a startup founder or team member, it's easy to feel like you're constantly under threat from these giants. But the truth is, the AI world is so vast, so dynamic, and so full of opportunities that there is room for everyone. But you have to know where to look. Your advantage lies in being small, nimble, and deeply connected to your customers. You can solve problems in ways that big companies simply can't or won't. And while the giants are focused on building empires, you can focus on serving a community. So yes, the AI landscape is competitive. Big companies are moving fast, but that doesn't mean it's a game over for startups. It's far from it. If you focus on specialization, agility, customer relationships, and smart partnerships, you can carve out a space for yourself that no one else can touch. So that's my take on the future of AI startup in a big tech world. I hope this gives you some ideas, some encouragement, and maybe even a bit of inspiration. Because at the end of the day, the future isn't just about who has the most resources. It is about who can create the most value. Thank you for tuning in. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time, keep building, keep innovating, and keep moving forward. Thank you.